Now at 11, the governor touting a new deal that he says will bring property tax relief in Indiana. Tonight, we're breaking down the moves at the State House that are aimed at saving Hoosiers money. Plus, a surge in Indiana measles cases.
A vaccine can help mitigate symptoms and improve outcomes.
Tonight, the push to protect Hoosier kids and families.
Tracking another round of rain and rumbles of thunder, so we'll check radar and get you ready for additional rain chances in the 7-day.
And for the first time, we're hearing Richard Allen's prison phone calls.
I killed Abby and Libby.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Tonight, we're sharing those confessions in the Delphi murders case that Allen's attorneys argue he didn't make voluntarily. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. It's 11 o'clock. I'm Ann Marie Tiernan in for Scott, and we do start it with the weather tonight. A gray, soggy night across central Indiana. And when we look ahead tomorrow, there is an isolated risk of severe storms in parts of the state. So Angela's been tracking this. And, I got to say, Angela, this rain really is wearing out its welcome.
I'm ready for it to go as well.
Amen.
The good news, the rain isn't heavy. It's not widespread, won't cause any additional problems in terms of flooding. And you mentioned that severe threat for tomorrow. It's mainly across the southern part of the state, and it's a low threat for now. Nothing severe right now on live Doppler 13 radar, but you can see some pockets of steadier rain. We dive into Marion County, north side, into Pike Township, over toward Lawrence and Castleton, and then some steadier rain, Muncie, Mount Pleasant, Newcastle, Anderson, Alexandria. The showers will continue. We continue to look local, and we're south along Interstate 65, Seymour, Brownstown, back through Bedford. This will exit over the next couple of hours, maybe a few rumbles of thunder overnight, and then a dry start to tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow afternoon, early evening that we get a few of those perhaps gustier thunderstorms. I'll have that look ahead in a few minutes.
Thank you, Angela. We'll check back. Meantime, tonight a man is in critical condition after a shooting on the east side of Indianapolis. We want to show you the scene. This is on Temple Avenue near New York and Rural just after 7:30 tonight. Police now tell us that the man was walking down the middle of the street when someone started to follow him. That's when witnesses told police they heard gunfire. Police believe the man was in fact targeted. Right now, we're working to learn more and to see if officers have identified a possible suspect in the case. Also tonight, the Indiana Department of Health is confirming 5 new cases of measles, bringing the Indiana statewide total now to 6. Our Alex Almanza was in Johnson County today, where a vaccine clinic is offering protection against a range of illnesses, including measles.
Anne Marie, today's clinic wasn't just about measles, it offered just about every vaccine. I spent the day at the Johnson County Fairgrounds, where health workers are urging people to vax up. It's a low-key setup at the Johnson County Fairgrounds, but for public health workers, every shot taken here matters.
We have vaccine clinics all over the state through, the Immunization Coalition.
And right now, the spotlight is on the MMR vaccine, which prevents measles, mumps, and rubella. It's getting fresh attention after the Indiana Department of Health confirmed 6 measles cases this week, all connected. 4 of those cases, unvaccinated children.
So if someone's coughing and sneezing and it can linger in a room or on table for a couple hours, even after the person is gone out of the area. So it's pretty contagious.
While covering the vaccine event, I went ahead and got my flu and COVID shots too. Just a reminder that clinics like this aren't just about one disease, they're about making sure our immunity is strong across the board.
We advocate for vaccines, vaccinate and get the word out and everything.
But with measles cases on the rise, experts like Dr. Eric Yancey are worried.
This didn't have to happen. I finished training in 1979, and we just thought, okay, fine, by the mid-'80s, we're done with this. We will not have to worry about this again.
Dr. Yancey says the best way to prevent measles is the MMR vaccine, but he's also worried about misinformation, especially when critics spread the myth that vaccines cause autism.
Millions of doses have been given. One day we will find and unlock all the keys to autism, but it is not vaccines.
And with more clinics like this traveling across the state, the goal is clear, making sure Hoosiers get the protection they need and help prevent further outbreaks. The Indiana Immunization Coalition says clinics like this will continue popping up around the state. We have resources on where to find the next pop-up clinic at WTHR.com.
Thank you, Alex. Governor Mike Braun announcing tonight an agreement on property taxes. He says it will bring historic relief to Hoosiers, but it's not a done deal just yet. Senate Bill 1 has been through a lot over this legislative session, and now with the passing of its 36th amendment, it's on the verge of a final vote. Tonight, our Logan Gay digs into what's made the cut.
It was a long day at the State House, and Indiana representatives got to take a look at the Republican version of Senate Bill 1, and not everyone liked what they saw. Lawmakers filed more than 3 dozen amendments. Just one of them passed, Amendment 36. According to our partners at the Capitol Chronicle, with that amendment, House Speaker Todd Huston says 2/3 of homestead owners will pay less in 2026 than 2025. And State Representative Jeff Thompson says the amendment tamps down on local debt. This bill also cuts property taxes on rental properties and farms. And it lets local communities raise more local income taxes while forcing public schools to share referendum money with charter schools.
The way that he framed it is going to tremendously impact schools. We know it will impact schools. If you look at the bonding, if they have to bond or do referendums, it probably will impact schools.
Democrats voicing concerns about cuts to services.
We talk about giving tax relief, but yet and still you go in the left hand, but then on the right hand it's being taken out of that pocket also.
This version of the bill phases out many property tax deductions in favor of tax credits.
It is a mirage. That's all we can say. And the bad thing about it, we really won't know. People will not really know what it's going to do for a year or two now. We got 1.8 million people that are homestead or have homesteads, and we're talking about a potential average tax relief of $245.
Another topic of discussion is how this will impact disabled veterans. Under the current bill, depending on the degree of their disability, a disabled veteran will get up to $250 in credit toward their property tax bill. But compared to the current maximum disabled veteran tax deduction, that's less money they could save. Republican Chris Judy, also a veteran, says the bill helps veterans.
We're expanding that disabled veterans out, and we're also expanding that all disabled veterans that actually will now qualify for that tax credit by eliminating that max assessed value on the home.
The House is set to have a third reading on the bill Thursday. In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
And now to the Delphi murders case. For the first time, we're hearing Richard Allen's phone calls that he made from prison. They were a critical part of the case against him. That's because during some of these calls, Allen confessed to the crimes. Those recordings were among dozens of alleged confessions that Allen made during his time behind bars. Take a listen.
Why would you say that?
Because maybe I did.
No, you didn't, dear.
I think I did.
No, you didn't.
That's Richard Allen talking with his wife, Kathy, in April of 2023. That audio was played in court for the jury before that panel convicted Allen of murdering the teens, Abby Williams and Libby German. Allen's attorneys say their client did not confess voluntarily, blaming his mental health struggles and mistreatment in prison. We talked to defense attorney Brad Banks about this. He's not connected to the Delphi case, but he followed it closely. Banks says it would be hard for a jury to look past this kind of evidence.
There's a lot of science out there about false confessions and the psychology behind them, but it's just a piece of evidence that's extremely difficult for a jury to look past. It just is.
In one of the calls, Allen tells his wife that he feels like he's lost his mind. And in another, Allen's mom tells him that she knows he's just not in a good place. Right now, Allen is spending 130 years in prison. His attorneys are appealing his conviction and his sentence. And right now, you can watch more than 3 hours of these newly released phone calls and also the police interrogation video that came out yesterday, all featuring Richard Allen. It's streaming right now on demand on WTHR+. If you don't have it, you can download that free app and watch it on your TV free of charge. A new team of scientists is now working to identify the victims of suspected Indiana serial killer Herb Baumeister. The Hamilton County coroner is now collaborating with a forensic lab in the state of Texas. The goal of all this collaboration is to put names to the thousands of bone fragments that were found on Baumeister's property in Westfield. Investigators believe that Baumeister killed dozens of men. Now the scientists with the Center for Human Identification that's located at the University of North Texas will provide DNA testing and also forensic genetic genealogy. And this will supplement the work that was been done here by the Indiana State Police.
Indiana's a busy place, and that lab is a busy place. So we had to find a way to roll this investigation along a little quicker. And you know, it was a blessing that they stepped up and offered their services.
There aren't very many public accredited forensic laboratories in this space either. So we are in a unique position to be able to help out with this particular type of case.
A grant is paying for that lab work in Texas, and the coroner is also doing more, bringing in mental health professionals to help families when their loved ones are identified. In the next few weeks, 9 Fox Hollow victims will be returned to family.